What's up, opinionators? It's Paragon, joined today by Quasar.
Yeah, it's Quasar.
And Redline.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
And Eclipse Bunny.
Hello.
I want to welcome you to the first edition of the Gamecast podcast with us, the Opinionation, your one and only. I'm starting off with the Opinionation. So funny, Quasar. What's going on, huh?
I'm not sure he even knows it.
I may or may not have been drinking a little bit, but continue.
And starting off with our Opinionation updates, first time you guys hearing this Gamecast podcast, going to be doing this. Hopefully weekly. I don't know. We're not really all that consistent.
Hey, thanks for killing us already. Shit.
Dead in water.
Truth shall set you free.
Right? Come out with it. Second thing is when Quasar, you have anything you want to say about our streaming habits?
Okay. Every Monday at around 9 or 10, we're going to be streaming a different random game. Sometimes it's a scary game like Resident Evil, Outlast, things like that. Or it might be a goofy game like I Am Bread or something else stupid like Minecraft.
Minecraft's not stupid.
But, and yeah, guys, check it out. It's pretty funny, actually. I Am Bread was one of the funniest things I've ever done or seen, thanks to a certain gentleman next to me. But, but yeah, check us out.
So that's actually not on our Opinionation Twitch. It's on Quasar's Twitch, which will be in the description. Make sure to put that there. All right, so let's open up our first ever podcast with some good old gaming news.
Yeah.
Who's hype? Hey. Who's hype? All right, let's start off with.
I'm not hyping up.
Start off with some Xbox One news.
Oh, snaps.
Xbox One. Multiple sources say that Microsoft is not planning to unveil one new console, but two. The first is your standard slimmed down version of the current gen. They'll probably call it something really creative or something.
Sexy Slim.
If I had to guess, Xbox One Slim.
Trash or Xbox trash.
Oh, God.
The bash begins.
Sexy. Xbox.
However, the second console, nicknamed the Xbox One Scorpio, is rumored to be 4 times more powerful than the original Xbox.
Hey, you believe Microsoft? That's hilarious.
Hey, hearing out here.
With that nickname, I'm on board. Scorpios forever.
Of course you're not. I mean, you did buy Xbox One, so of course you'll be on it.
I just want to remind you guys.
Silly decisions.
Pool Nation is going to run on higher graphics than ever before. Can't wait.
They say that about every console that comes out?
Every console.
And that's how you people buy them. Love it. Keep the process going.
You people. You're part of these people that buy this console.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not your everyman. Next news here. No Man's Sky has been... That's right. No Man's Sky has been moved from June to August.
Wow.
Apparently... Apparently the game is coming along well enough, but some of the key moments and details...
Corniest thing I've ever heard.
some of the key moments and details need to meet the developers' standards before they feel comfortable releasing. It doesn't help that the creator has been getting death threats since the delay came about.
Oh, wow.
I mean, if he's lucky, his fans like him, and they won't really get good on those death threats for a few years.
Well, it is an anticipated. I'm not justifying death threats, but I mean, damn.
For a game? It's kind of a little serious. This must be a really great game.
People have been waiting on No Man's Sky for what?
We don't even know
E3
what it's going to be like.
14 or 15 we saw.
We're just tired of it being pushed back. It's going to end up like Duke Nukem Forever.
Duke Nukem Forever.
But you know what, though? It kind of goes into an interesting thing, though, because, you know, over the last couple of years, you've had a lot of people complain about seeing a lot of things in E3 trailers, and then when the game comes out, it's not really
Don't see it at all.
Watch Dogs.
That shade that was just thrown.
Watch Dogs is pretty trash, though.
Yeah, Watch Dogs was...
But kind of like Skyrim, so
quite,
Skyrim is not trash.
Skyrim is garbage.
Or Destiny.
Destiny is trash. Destiny is trash.
So, Opinionation hates Destiny. Hashtag hate Destiny. But,
I still kill y'all.
Tried to give it a chance.
We all did.
I still beat all your ass.
I can't play something that doesn't
we all
have like
equally against. We say it. All right.
I only bought it because it came with the white PS4. I was like, I guess you can throw Destiny in it, and it was just as bad as I thought.
Right. Sony is on a roll. Uncharted 4 sold 2.7 million copies in the first week.
Wow.
Yeah, that's incredible. However, while that's 2.7 million copies.
Damn.
Well, they had a hell of a marketing campaign.
I mean, they really did push all in on Uncharted 4.
As any game should.
Yes,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
I beat it, so it's amazing. You should all buy it and throw away your Xboxes because it's never coming in there.
Man, you just really like throwing this shade.
Yes, I do because it's trash.
Look, I see them. What is it? Dab, and I was like, I gotta have the game. I don't necessarily.
You saw
have to-
who dab?
them. You didn't see that. You didn't see that, did you?
There is I guess what is it, character viewing, and you can just sit there and watch them do dance moves.
Oh yeah.
He does the Hotline Bling in one of them. I
Oh
was
my
like,
god!
yeah.
Oh, you talking about Uncharted?
Yes.
Oh yeah. knew
I
that.
seen that and I was like, I want to play the game, even though I know it's probably never going to happen in the
I was just
game.
doing
I still
the
just
dance.
want it.
However, while that is good, it still pales in comparison to the quick start Uncharted 3 had in 2011.
Man, who cares? Uncharted 3 was the most non. Oh god, it's hard to say because
You know what?
Naughty Dog hasn't made a bad game, but that was their most not great but good game.
Never played it.
Yeah, I'm gonna expose myself. I have not played one Uncharted game.
Why are you guys here? It's time for you guys to leave.
So we're gonna have to skip past that.
It is time for you guys to leave.
Next up here, Square Enix put 10,000 more copies of their super excellent Ultimate Condition Collect. Super excellent Ultimate Collector's Edition of Final Fantasy 15 on sale last Monday, and in about that just about time, all of those copies are sold out already. That's
They're dying.
that's just you just can't keep that game around too long, man. It's been a long time coming. I intend on just stabbing someone who walks out of GameStop for it.
Kingdom.
Oh, Kingdom Hearts 3. Wait.
Sorry.
You said that was a break.
Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, like 10 years.
No, hold on. First off,
I haven't
fine.
played
We
it.
were at,
What was that first?
Stop.
I haven't played any
Get out of
Final
my
Fantasy.
So Eclipse is not a Final Fantasy
Leave.
player, as you're gonna
Because
find out about
I don't
this.
like I didn't like turn-based,
Leave
but
the station.
I found out that they're not all turn-based, so I might give it a
Anybody else out
chance.
there who just don't like waiting for their turn to go, 15 is going to be doing things a lot differently.
I would
Yeah.
just like to say we do not support the ideals and beliefs of one.
I'm sorry, when I'm playing it,
Eclipse.
when I'm playing a game,
We
I like
are.
to.
Hey, as far as
we
they're
have-
concerned,
I'm-
Opinion Nation plays Final Fantasy.
We played Final Fantasy.
I'm sorry, but I like
Well,
to
don't
get
know
like
why
all
this
up in
person
there. I like
is
to get deep into the game. I don't want to
How
just sit
deep?
there and wait.
How
How
deep?
deep? Huh?
Very deep.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Like
In the
Opinion
background.
Nation after. Okay.
Stop.
Pokemon Go is a little closer.
oh
Full
yeah.
release.
Cliff.
Field testing in U.S. started this past week, and you can even sign up to beta test for it.
I want to sign up.
Quick warning, word of advice, don't look anyone in the eye on the street unless you're ready to battle. What the fuck?
Whoa.
That pretty much.
That's some crazy neighbors next door.
That pretty much sums up how we felt about that idea. With the Pokemon.
I'm ready for it. I'm not going to get
regrets.
anywhere though,
No regrets.
because I'm going to stop every 5 minutes to
I
battle
don't catch
someone.
none of y'all on the streets trying to catch
So
Mewtwo.
y'all clearly gonna get hit by
you
all
know,
types of cars.
I'm boring. I literally have not been into Pokemon since the first generation.
Wait.
The first
That's a
generation.
lie.
Well,
That's
no,
not
that's
even
a
the next
lie.
generation.
Well, you know what?
Speaking of
I'm sorry.
Pokemon-
Second generation, because I played Silver and Gold, and then after that I was done.
Speaking of Pokemon, I'm ready for this new Pokemon to come out so I can play with Litten.
Litten.
Because it's
Litten.
It's Litten,
Is he
fam.
He's like so adorable. He's like an actual cat in the game.
That's gonna be an interesting Pokemon. No one's gonna pick that Dugong looking seal.
The clown seal.
That's true. Nobody's gonna pick that.
So okay. Moving on. New trailer, Mafia 3. Let's check the hype from Mafia 3. Who's hype from Mafia 3?
I don't know
All
what
right
it is.
then. A former employee is suing Valve for what they believe to be wrongful termination. They're saying that they were terminated for their gender reassignment.
Excuse me.
Right? They're seeking about over $3 million for damages, unpaid overtime, and loss of earnings. However, they do win the case. I'm sure that check is actually going to be for $2 million episode 2, knowing Val.
Yeah.
That's definitely going to knock down. Next piece of news here, actually, I'm going to leave this one to Eclipse. Go ahead.
Yay! So, Minecraft for the consoles decided to come out with a new map called Battle Mode. It comes out next month, and they decided multiple mini player games with more weapons. They're also gonna have it to where you can actually see who's still in the game with different color bars at the bottom. So you don't have to keep going into the chat to see who died.
Ah, yes, that was the most frustrating aspect of Minecraft.
I would just like to say this is Quasar's own opinion of this game.
Oh gosh.
Quasar, please.
It is
Please no.
complete ass.
That's because you don't have an
You
imagination.
want us to lose fans?
I don't care.
The Minecraft community.
That shit
It's
is
a
the
really
most
big
boring
community.
thing I've
There are
ever
literally
seen.
dozens.
Okay. It's dumb. It's literally the stupidest thing.
No,
I mean, not stupid, but it's the most boring thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, what is the point?
Well, give
No, you know
Minecraft battle mode actual chance.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you.
And with
you
that
need to
trash
change
have to
combat,
use-
you do. Oh my god.
No, this
That's the
one
word-
this
no.
one is way different. You have to use strategy and speed to actually
Have
beat
you seen
people.
gameplay? I got.
Yes, I have seen gameplay.
What's it look like?
Well,
It's
It's the
amazing.
same. It's
No,
the same
it's
shit
not.
on my arm is on fire.
I kind of get where he's
That's
coming from
motion.
because, like, I was never really a big Minecraft fan, but I think the allure of that game for a lot of people is its simplicity and its ability to build on top of itself continuously. You know what I mean? Like, there are people. I mean, I
Yeah,
go
I
on Twitch and the Minecraft channels literally will have 20 to thousands of people watching them.
It's a crazy community.
It's
I'll
a
tell you
really
that.
it's a really great community.
And it's it's something that when I first played, I couldn't get into it. Had to be tutorial to get through. Once you get down and you just sit there and play it, and it has become an addicting game. It's the Sims of our generation in a way.
Yeah.
When I first started playing, I was like Crazar here. But
The non-believer.
the non-believer.
I played this game.
But I played it. I played it. I played it and literally loved it, and I have not stopped playing it since.
Well, I played it and I literally hated it, and I've never.
That's because you don't have an imagination.
I do have an imagination.
Where?
And it's me imagining never playing that game again.
So last piece of news here, and we're coming back to Xbox. It seems like they're going to be unveiling some VR at E3. Rumors is coming out. To further those rumors, a few companies have registered under the VR tag with E3. To further the furthering of the rumors, there's said to be a major developer working on a VR game to come out sometime soon. VR, I'm just not sure how that's gonna work.
I was never a fan. I don't care for any of the VR technologies. Maybe I got really scarred from Virtual Boy, but like literally, and I don't know. I don't really care for it. I like sitting on sitting on my couch looking at a screen and playing the game on that way. I don't want to be that immersed into it.
Interesting thing happened to me.
Cool.
I saw once a trailer for a HoloLens demo, which was some sort of scary little storyteller sitting there. You have the HoloLens on. She's right in front of your face. TV's right here. On the side of the TV is the rest of the image. And it just it uses the room to mess with you, like on a mental level. And that was really amazing. I cannot tell you any other aspect you would be able to use virtual reality for.
I can tell you what aspect VR, whatever. VR, I was about to say VR missions. Metal Gear. Whatever.
Confirm VR is a weapon to surpass Metal Gear.
Probably. Okay. VR is going to be used for it, and I probably can't say it on, station. But I'm going to say it anyway.
Go ahead.
What? No. Shut up. Sex. That's clearly what it's gonna be used for, man.
VR sex.
Simulating sex.
I'm okay
That's
with
that. That's what sells.
The splurge of
Pretty sure.
Japanese
That's what I was about to say.
game imports will be.
Especially in
Right.
Japan.
Oh man, Japan's about to make some major moolah on virtual reality.
Japan has already been on it.
Yeah, that's true.
Next fall.
That's a weird place.
Terra Live Beach Volleyball.
Their asses is gonna be really close.
What?
This got so wrong so fast.
Alright, so I think we're gonna
Moving on.
wrap up on gaming news there. We're gonna be moving on here. Special coverage for today is Combo Breaker.
Woo!
And Opinionation's very own Redline and Quasar have the exclusive.
Oh, yeah, okay. I'm actually SRM Quasar, the best Tekken player in Michigan.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear that. Could you hear that?
The best Tekken player in Michigan.
Sometimes we like to tell ourselves.
One of the best in Street Fighter 5. Can you beat me? No. Yes. Move it. Oh, I beat them one round. Congratulations. But anyway, Combo Breaker is a major fighting game tournament and it's located in Illinois. Man, when I tell you that venue was amazing.
Yes, it really was. Was that their first? Was that the first time they were at that specific
I
location?
don't know. This is my first time going.
Tell me how it was walking in. You know, what was the atmosphere like?
Wow. Well, you walk in there, have a hallway that wraps around from where the main room is, and when we got there, there was a huge line that wrapped around the entire building, at least a quarter of it, for pre-registration badges. And once you got that badge and you went onto the gaming floor, it was like it looked like a sporting event. It was so huge, it was so big, and you look around to see all kinds of vendors, you see casual setups, you see 6-7 different main stages, in every corner of the venue. It was a really great experience, and aside from when we had Battle Opera at Youmacon here in Detroit, it was really my first major, so it was a really good experience. But,
Now, unfortunately, I wasn't able to enter anything because I didn't know if I was gonna go until last possible second. By that time,
I think Combo Breaker was better for it.
Okay, because I would destroy these people.
We don't need Quasar on the stick.
But yeah, so I wasn't able to enter anything. At the same time, it was probably the most fun I've ever had at a video game tournament since Youmacon 2012.
Give me some highlights.
Man, I met Lupe. Fiasco. Apparently looking like or something.
So on the street, they confused Quasar with Lupe quite a few times.
Hashtag Team Dreads.
Right,
Team Dreads.
We all have dreads.
Y'all all look the
look
same
alike.
to me.
But that was an amazing experience. He was really cool, actually. Really cool. He's a gamer. That's why I think professional games. When I was growing up, if you told me I could play Street Fighter or General Chaos or GoldenEye and win millions of dollars, I'd have started laughing at you. But that's actually becoming a real thing. So I think everybody should really check out the FGC, and Combo Breaker is a perfect place to start.
I think we can all collectively agree that gameplay and gameplay footage in general is becoming more and more widespread as a viewing pleasure, and because it is, things like that, things like competitions and stuff are becoming more and more invested in. Generally, it's going to be like that for a while. The internet's taken over. We've run wild. And, seeing that happen kind of brings, tears to my eyes sometimes because I'll be like, I'll never be good enough to compete in any of these competitions. I would have to sit there and practice.
That's when you get good.
Get good.
GG.
Scrub.
Why you hurt me so bad?
But back to Combo Breaker, though.
Yeah.
So it had every fighting game you can imagine. They had things like obscure, like Martial Masters.
They had the Space Jams basketball game.
Man, I forgot about that. It had Alien. It had basic arcade games just to draw you in. So if you're not all in for the fighting games,
They had Space Jam.
They had extra things. But every fighting game you can imagine. And they had tournaments for Turbo, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Third Strike. Found out the last day. Tekken, Guilty Gear, Street Fighter 5, Mortal Kombat, of course.
Tekken 3 Ball.
Tekken Ball.
Ball.
Right. Guilty Gear, Unio, of course, our anime games. It's a really, really huge turnout. Had a lot of strong players.
Now, give me a feel for the community. When you guys go to these things, in case for anybody doesn't know, Redline and Quasar are very competitive fighting gamers. I've always wondered, like, that area, it seems like something that's an entirely different field than, like, you're going to a con or something.
The interesting thing about the fighting game community is that you have to kind of understand a bit about the origins of the FGC. The origins of the FGC come from arcades. And one thing people don't really understand about arcades is that arcades traditionally are a very urban kind of thing. And so, when I was younger, and my dad would drop me and my sister off at the arcade, and we would just play games, and some games we dominated. You were in there with people, because a lot of arcades were bars or restaurants, or they were just general arcades that sold alcohol over the counter.
Unfortunately, I never experienced that life. I'm really mad, because as a little kid, I would have been busting ass, but that's cool.
He tells himself that to sleep good.
Yep, tell myself to sleep good. But yet, nobody at this table can beat me.
But in general though, like there was a sort of, there was a very aggressive but not threatening feel about
Are you
arcades.
talking about the old arcades?
Yeah, just arcades. It was a very male-dominated scene, so it had a lot of machismo in there, it had a lot of aggressiveness, had a lot of shit talk.
And I'm glad that that's kind of mellowing out. It's still very male-dominated for the most part.
I think that's what makes it fun, though. I mean, it's never.
The
never
testosterone is always.
Yeah, it was a very testosterone kind of environment, and I mean, considering that men on average tend to be a lot more competitive, it kind of adds to it. Now, granted, through the natural process of social evolution, I'm glad that the FGC has become a lot more open and welcoming to all kinds of people from different backgrounds. But I've never known it to be an exclusionary kind of community.
So we seem to have said something to bring up the fifth member of Opinion Nation, Mr. Bobito here, and I'm kind of curious. He's just standing here with this grin on his face.
I could be Wendell and Tekken. Stream it next Monday.
Yes, let's please stream it.
I
won't let you.
For next
We can go to
Monday,
10, and I won't let you take a game.
You're gonna win 8-2.
We're gonna take a game. If I lose a game, I lose. That's how I go by that.
We will
Let's
take
go.
that. We'll happily take that. That brings me to the point I kind of wanted to make, which is what everyone wants to talk about here, and that is that you two got to play some Tekken 7.
Oh,
Me, sex.
Oh man, guys,
that
came up
game,
and
that was orgasm on a controller. That was great.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
That sounds amazing.
I didn't say all that.
And I mean, that literally it's a great game.
well, this does
Yes.
well for me.
It's the
I was
best
going to
fighting
ask
game
for
I've ever
initial
played.
reactions, but Cliff,
Tekken 7.
Compared to like Tekken Tag 2, where there was a lot going on, the crush system was kind of and you could literally sidestep almost everything. First of all, we have to break it up into two parts. There was Tekken 7, which is kind of the vanilla version, and then there was Fated Retribution, which was the upgraded version, the updated one.
right?
Coming from Tekken Tag 2 to Tekken 7 vanilla, that was a huge leap. In vanilla, you have a nerfed sidestep and backdash, so you're kind of forced to really play head-on with the other person. You're kind of forced to resort to more of a poking game. From vanilla to FR was like a huge leap, and it was even better because they rebuffed a little bit of the movement. They gave the characters a few more new moves, even from Tekken 7 vanilla, and it was just a really pleasurable game to play, especially if you are a seasoned Tekken player. So,
And that's all I really wanted to hear because I don't really have much else going for me in Tekken since they decided to,
well, that's because you play capos.
I just really wanted to keep my kicks. That's all I wanted. I didn't ask for much. And taking away something like that, taking away my just.
It's all right.
But you know what? It's okay. I told myself I was gonna be fine, and maybe it won't be so bad. Maining Steve.
Just side note,
Katarina.
Steve Fox.
I'm not a kid.
Really great in that game.
Quasar.
So you will be okay. He's really great in that game.
I'm never touching Katarina.
Yes, I am.
Oh, okay. Quasar, go ahead and tell me who you think's the most fluid in the game.
And what do you mean, like character?
Yeah.
Who's the most fluid?
Who did you have the best experience with? Don't say Jin.
Well, I would be lying then, because Jin is clearly the best character that ever was made. But at the same time, Devil Jin felt amazing too.
Loophole. Devil Jin. Give me some.
Tekken 7 is really stiff, but it's good because it's really basic too. It really focuses on whiff punishment. Tekken is always focused on that, but you get away with a lot of crap in crush movement and Tekken Tag 2, and it turned a lot of people off. But Tekken 7 pretty much like Street Fighter 5 goes back to its roots. The combos aren't as long and strenuous as they used to be, which also turned a lot of people off, juggling wise, and it looks really cool. FR, man, it might be.
Go ahead.
Okay, but that might be one of the best fighting games I've ever played, and it's just a beta. The movement, super buff. It's really fluid. most of the move sets got better. It looks graphically a lot better. It's got Akuma in it. It's got EX cancels. Man, the game is amazing.
Jam packed, I say.
So, it's very casual friendly if you want to jump into it. It's still really, really deep. Tekken is a very hard game.
And I was going to say, that seems like some of the issues that people have with previous iterations of Tekken is that they always felt like it wasn't casual friendly.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, I feel like, it never had to cater to the casual fan base or anything. But, being able to do so and still retain some of the competitive nature of it, that's something that will boost its popularity further to come. Question, go ahead.
I was going to also just add, too, and Quasar will probably agree with this, too. The rage arts and the rage combos in the game really add a whole new defensive dynamic to it, which is really good. A lot of times when people are, maybe they're on match point or they're low health or whatever, sometimes people tend to not play as defensively as they should. And so, me for instance, I'll tend to rush in and do things. But, when you see somebody in rage mode and they can easily do an armored super move for the most part, it really kind of makes you think a lot more. So, not only is the gameplay in itself for Tekken 7 a lot more casual friendly, but it also introduces you into a different level of thought of how to play a fighting game. It sort of brings you into the technicalities of Tekken, which I think is great.
That's actually a pretty good description of that game. And it's like I said, tells you I've been drinking. But like I said, it's really pretty looking. So, if this is any type of time to get into Tekken 7 FR would be it. Now, when it's coming out,
the only downside. It's like no one knows when.
So, but I would let this happen. I appreciate this happening more than what Street Fighter 5 is doing. But that's a different story.
We're not really going to discuss what Street Fighter 5 is doing because I don't think Capcom actually knows. They seem to have a pretty much hit, touch, and go kind of strategy everywhere where they're releasing things.
I know what they're doing. They're basically banking on the fact that their fans and the people who do love to play Street Fighter competitively will always continuously stay tuned to what they have coming next, which is essentially why they didn't have a problem, even though they told us to put out a extremely unfinished product, while at the same time, there is sort of a hype factor that people have with, having an unfinished game, anticipating characters coming out each month, going to sites like Shoryuken or event hubs and staying into SRK and staying tuned to, every bit of information that comes out. So, while at the same time, they're still going to make, their money from selling the game.
And I'm actually going to say this much about Street Fighter 5 as a person that will probably never be able to experience the gameplay, being that it is what it is, being a PS4 exclusive. I have to say that generally the idea behind it, the execution, it all seems like really weird. But when you understand Capcom's situation, it's more than reasonable that they have it that way. More than reasonable they're trying to scrounge up money and name time, and they're going to do whatever they can. There's nothing we can do to stop them. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and say final thoughts towards Tekken 7. Quasar, you first.
I will be the best in it. It's my favorite game series. Tekken 7 is the best Tekken I've played since 3.
You can quote him on that, everybody. Tekken 7 is the best Tekken I've played since 3. Redline, final thoughts?
It's a very great game, even in beta form. With the release date being somewhat ambiguous, the only thing that I really hope now is that they use that time to really put an emphasis on story elements, because I'm one of those people that cares a bit about narrative in my fighting games, especially Tekken.
I definitely would Tekken. I have to see some sort of story come out of it,
Because for the most part, the fighting mechanics of the game are almost perfected.
And as I understand, this is supposed to be the more climactic of the story,
Yeah.
It's a conclusion on the whole Mishima feud, and I really want to see where that goes, especially with the introduction of Hiachi's wife and even Akuma. Seeing how that's all going to play out is going to be interesting. But more than that, I'm definitely hyped for the story. I'm definitely hyped to see what new characters get unveiled on top of the ones we've already seen, and it's just going to be a very overwhelming experience. I think it's going to be something brand new and a little bit of old, bring it all together very nicely.
I agree.
All right, so guys, I'm thinking I want to be a little random here. You guys up for random?
Yeah.
Always.
All right, Eclipse Bunny.
Yes.
I'm sorry because this isn't something that you've probably dabbled in as much.
Oh.
But I'm going to be doing a nostalgia check here
Oh my.
on the Sega Genesis. Now, the reason I wanted to do this,
console.
the reason I wanted to do this is because we were sitting here trying to set up for everything, and the Sega Genesis had to have been mentioned, and games of the Sega Genesis had to have been mentioned like 12 times. The reason I really thought of it just now is because I was reminded that Eclipse Bunny here has never played Sonic the Hedgehog.
Never.
Wow.
You guys should see the looks I'm getting.
Everyone's heart is just broken here.
Poor baby.
Never.
And the crazy thing is I had the game and I just never played it.
Like, she's just never experienced the full joy of watching a blue
So
hedgehog.
you were just too good to play Sonic.
That's what it
Yes,
was.
I was.
Get off. Get off.
Nah,
That's the person that doesn't want to give Minecraft a chance.
I
If you play
I have
Minecraft-
played. First off.
If you play Minecraft, then I'll play Sonic.
Funny.
I've played
Or vice
Minecraft. I've played Minecraft. It is trash. It is boring. I don't enjoy it.
Okay, that's how I feel about Sonic.
Have you played Sonic?
No.
No. Then exactly.
no.
Because I can just look at it and tell them I'm not going to be excited
No,
about it.
you can't. Because I say that too. But I said I give it a chance. And I gave it a chance. It's trash.
For the 13-year-olds
Play Sonic.
listening, the Sega Genesis was a console.
Raven.
I had one, okay?
Eclipse Bunny.
I had one. I know what it is.
Prove it.
But
It's just-
the Sega Genesis.
You got one when? In 2008?
I had one.
2008.
One of the more
That's
visually
I
appealing
want to show you
consoles
what
of its
happened in
time.
our time.
It was quite a stunning console, and you had to ask. It really did bring more color to your games and stuff, whereas your NES was kind of faded and pixelated. The Sega Genesis really bumped things up a notch. You know, it was almost its own next gen. One thing I always said, because like I said, I'm sorry, Eclipse Bunny, because it seems like a lot of the games that we played on the Sega Genesis you just cannot relate to, and that is killing me.
That's the only one I've heard you guys mention the most.
Okay,
I
so
cannot
wait,
believe you, Eclipse.
Eclipse Bunny, have you played Streets of Rage?
No.
Oh,
I was a very sheltered child. Anything
I am
that had
removing
to
this
do,
woman from my table.
anything that had to do with
It
any
is
type
now-
of violence or
It is now Opinionation with Redline, Quasar, and Paragon.
I wasn't really allowed to play that many
clearly
video games
is
in the first
not-
place.
What we thought she was.
oh, okay. So I want someone to break this down for us. Redline, can you break down Streets of Rage?
Streets of Rage was essentially a side-scrolling beat-em-up that was ahead of its time as far as fun factor. It got, did it get two more or just one sequel after that?
It's got the Streets of Rage.
It's got
3.
Streets of Rage 3.
There were two more sequels after it.
Streets of
It
Rage
was just,
2.
it was a game. It had a very two-dimensional, simple storyline, which was, hey, there's a bad guy. Go through all these blocks
Mr.
and
X.
places and just beat them
He
up.
had a code name.
But it was,
Mr. X.
You can't tell me he didn't have a code name.
So,
Mr. X.
Mr. L, yeah, he was.
I remember being young and not realizing that the people you play as were cops because nothing about them remotely looks like police at all.
No,
But
I didn't realize
never mind.
because I used
They
to
act
wonder
like
why
cops
they
in
would
the game.
why when you use your special, it would always be a police car that came with one of the bazookas. And then that's what I kind of just figured. I was like,
Delivering bazookas.
I was like, these are either the most like.
Did you guys sign off
First
on
off,
those?
how did they get into the whatever? I can't spoil it. They got into some
Right.
buildings. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
like who,
How did you do this?
Nah, they left the door
Crazy.
open to get their ass
But
whooped, like just.
when I tell you, it had some of the best fighting mechanics for gaming for beat 'em up that day, and
one of
the
the best
music.
soundtracks.
yeah.
Music was godlike.
I am telling you,
Man,
I will never forget the
Streets
Streets
of
of Rage
Rage,
music.
Streets of Rage 2 has the best soundtrack I've heard in a video game in a long time.
Now we're leaving.
It's hard. It's hard.
We're really leaving Eclipse Buddy out here. Eclipse Buddy, you have played Sega
You see the
Genesis.
face, just make it.
What game on the Sega Genesis have you played?
Barney Luigi's first adventure.
No. I can't really remember because right after I got it, I ended up getting a PlayStation and a
Oh my
GameCube.
Oh my!
The gap.
What?
Wait. What?
How did you go from Sega
Time
Genesis
travel, like,
to
No, 'cause
PS1?
I didn't get my
GameCube.
first because I didn't get my first system. I wasn't allowed to have my first system until I was like 10.
So that was like 10 years ago.
Okay, no. So did you play any SNES?
Oh my!
Did you play any
Oh.
N64?
My
I'm breaking.
goodness.
Yes.
Oh my
Okay.
God! What did you
Yes,
play
I
on
did.
N64?
Let's
What did you play on
skip that.
N64?
Let's go ahead
Mario?
from Sega Genesis to...
And
I don't like
Zelda.
Mario, but that's fine. Zelda's fine. Okay.
Wait, I think we should be asking more important character here. Quasar, what have you played on the 64?
GoldenEye.
GoldenEye.
Perfect Dark.
Oh my gosh.
Perfect.
No Mercy.
No.
I tried to play GoldenEye. I
WrestleMania
really did.
2000.
Great game.
WCW, NCW, Revenge. Unfortunately, WCW Mayhem and Backstage Assault.
I'm sorry.
Super Smash
I want to apologize.
Super Smash Brothers. And that's it, I think. And some sports game, probably.
So there's
And
this
Mortal
amazing
Kombat trilogy.
contrast between Quasar and Eclipse
And Mortal
Buddy,
Kombat 4.
where Eclipse Buddy hasn't played all of the great Sega Genesis games. Quasar has not played all of the great
64?
64
There's like
games.
3 great 64.
like, he's
Mario,
missing Super
supposedly
Mario,
Zelda.
Legend of Zelda.
That's
How
2
many
games.
Zeldas have you played?
Who cares? Zelda sucks.
No,
He's
you don't
gonna
need
lose
about
all of
Sonic
our
and
fans.
shit.
Oh my god.
Oh, now y'all gotta fight against Quasar because I'm right.
No.
Here's a better thing. Can you elaborate on why you think
Combat looks like trash. I'm not interested in anything about the characters or those settings. And the characters look like trash.
Oh.
so? Character design, battle system, and character design.
Yes.
And that's how I felt about Sonic.
Well, listen,
Trash.
Sonic doesn't really
What
have
do you have?
Sonic.
Character design. Sonic.
Sonic?
It's
That's
a
a hedgehog.
blue hedgehog.
You like Mario, who was a short little midget, a bad
I'm
character
sorry.
of Italian.
Nothing is appealing about the Sonic games.
What's
to me
appealing
at
about
all.
Mario? You're jumping on mushrooms.
And saving bitches.
And saving bitches.
No, clearly you're not getting none after
Super
that.
Mario
Because she
Brothers.
goes right
Same
back to my
bitches.
man.
You don't know
It
that.
goes right back to
Look,
Bowser.
all I gotta say is what? Rule 34.
What? I don't know what that means.
Oh,
Everybody knows what that means.
No. We are trying to have a civilized discussion here.
Rule 34.
Why are you guys laughing? What is real? You know what?
Quasar.
I don't want to know.
Our
You're
fans
good.
know what Rule
Oh.
34 is.
No, I'm sorry, 13-year-olds. Don't Google.
Leave Eclipse Bunnies up.
They
Friends
break drink.
alone.
They break drink. So they're gonna search this. It's so
You're welcome.
Oh my God.
disappointed. Oh, okay. So let's tally up here. We had the debate between Sega Genesis and Nintendo 64. Which one had the most spotlight games?
Sega Genesis.
Nintendo.
Wait, actually, I take that back.
I
I take that back.
think it would be better if it
64.
was Sega
No,
Genesis versus Super NES.
no, because Super Nintendo destroys N64.
I was gonna say my favorite X-Men game is on Sega Genesis. So I have
X-Men Wolverine's Revenge? Wait, that's on Super Nintendo. X-Men 2 Adamantium?
close enough.
Clone Wars.
There you go.
Got it. That game
I would say
was okay. Your favorite You didn't play Mutant Apocalypse?
I did.
Mutant Academy? Oof.
I did play Mutant Academy, and I still feel.
X-Men Legends?
Yeah,
What?
I'm sorry.
How did you
He's
not
not
like...
sorry.
I'm not sorry.
How'd you not like X-Men Legends?
I didn't say I didn't like it. It's
How's
just not
it-
my favorite.
But Clone Wars?
Look, man, we
Okay.
all have our selections. But when I guess I'm gonna have to say Nintendo 64, and only because everyone seems to be forgetting what it will go down in history as the greatest game of all time.
Perfect Dark.
Tekken
Wrong. Also,
Jet Force Gemini.
3. Metal Gear
Nope.
Solid 1. Resident Evil 2.
you are all wrong.
Metal
The
Gear
answer.
Solid 1 on N64.
Twine fool.
He's talking about N64.
I didn't name one N64 game.
No, the answer is Pokemon Snap.
Final Fantasy 7.
Wow.
That's right, Pokemon Snap. A game that
Pokemon
gives you
Stadium
so
was
much
cold.
material. So many pictures
That
to
was
take.
literally the most overhyped.
That game was terrible.
Oh man.
Like just
Man, it was straight
never
trash.
on the shelf piece of shit game I had ever
For
played.
all those young
you played
kids
Minecraft?
aspiring to be photographers.
Have you played
I mean, it was
Minecraft?
literally.
Because clearly you got that. What?
Maybe it was just like a.
What just happened?
I think there's a hailstorm.
Been
outside.
shot? No.
But like, no, literally like you would go on the exact same stages,
Oh, no.
and nothing would change. Nothing would change. The same damn Pokemon would be in the same damn spot. Excuse my German, I'm sorry.
It's so true. It was like they just never. Oh my God, they just never move.
What?
So the game itself is like not revolutionary in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, it was just a game that just rode the Pokemon train, and they made it, and
Rode that train.
rode the.
Quite literally, you rode a train around as you took pictures of Pokemon.
It's literally a.
And I don't know what they were thinking, but it is still by
It was
far
cute.
the winner of the
It was a
Nintendo
cute game.
64.
I'd buy it again for about
What was a cute
5
game?
nickels.
People are talking about Star
Five nickels?
Fox. People are going to talk about Super Mario. People are talking about Legend of Zelda.
Star Fox.
No one's going to acknowledge Pokemon Snap.
Yeah,
You see that YouTube video where all them foxes come out and using the Smash Brothers?
Star Fox, I swear to you.
I mean, Star Fox 64. Star Fox did more for the N64 because of the introduction of the Rumble Pack and how that just kind of
What?
The Rumble Pack.
You don't.
When you look
I
back
know
on
exactly
it
what you're
now,
talking about.
it's just so
The what?
ridiculous.
That's like
It's the only time you will ever ask
The
your parents
PlayStation
about
having the
anything
multi-tap.
after batteries.
Right?
who remembers the multi-tap from PlayStation? Nobody.
Nobody, of course not. When you bring up the PlayStation, no one ever brings that
4
up.
players. That's not the PlayStation one. Yeah, you
Right.
got multi-tap.
Oh yeah, yeah, that multi-tap.
Trash.
Multi-tap that. I'm fucking up.
Whoa.
But,
It's tight.
okay, so before this gets out of control, let's just go ahead here and let's go with some final thoughts. Everyone gets to have one random topic they're going to conclude with, and we're going to start off with Quasar.
Why do I have to go first? Go to red line first.
Okay, we're going to start off with Quasar.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
Let's
man.
let's go to red line first.
that's red line.
I was about to say, I thought it was a Bush Bunny.
Nah,
Goddamn.
Eclipse red line
Okay.
fusion.
Right.
man, I pass. Come back.
Okay,
He
then.
passed the ball.
Go ahead, Eclipse Bunny.
Damn.
You guys don't want this.
I'm ready for Minecraft. That's all I say.
Oh my
I'm ready for
God.
battle mode. I'm ready to hear all these angry young teens cuss me out
Why?
So I
like
can
they do
just-
on
I can
Black
sit here.
Ops.
Why would you?
And
Why,
picture-
who wants that?
I can picture
Because it's gonna be funny.
It's,
okay, it's gonna be
It's
hilarious.
55-year-old Eclipse Bunny just sitting there at her console, the whatever generation 15, and she's just on Minecraft. Game's already like 10 years out of date at this point,
The Xbox 100.
and she's just digging for diamond, and we're just sitting here calling her like, please come out. And it's just gonna be like, no, I have to.
Minecraft is
find
love. Minecraft is life.
Minecraft forever. Next
Yeah.
one, Red Line. What is your final thought for this?
I'm gonna be interested to see what
I can't.
sorts of consoles companies are going to be putting out in like 5 or 10 years, because this has to have been literally like, I think earlier you started off with Microsoft talking about another console. I don't think I've ever seen a console generation this short.
And some will argue that it's still the Xbox One, only
Yeah.
it's just going to be a slight bit more powerful, 4 times.
It's
slight bit
not
more
a different.
powerful.
It's not a different console
So
generation.
it's not necessarily
It's just
different.
an upgrade. It's like when Sega Saturn got that, or Sega Genesis got that CD router, or whatever Sega Saturn had.
Sega CD.
One of them things. Anyway, yeah, it's just it's the same console generation. They're
I
just trying to
wanna-
keep up with the
But then
high
you think
res
about things like
PCs, because a lot of people made a big deal of, I was about to say 1620, 1080p.
Right.
And a lot of games now being 1080p 60 frames. So now they're
Yeah,
trying
see,
to upgrade this.
everyone wants that to be the standard, and the thing is, they're going to just keep building to the point where we're going to be sitting here looking at 4K games, telling ourselves these graphics are terrible,
Now,
and I'm just not ready for
I'm
that.
still not sure what the technological differences. I can't look at 4K and be like, damn, that's 4K.
I mean, I can't.
It's definitely noticeable
really
with 4K. If
but
you're talking about 1080p and 720, you will notice the difference.
The thing is, we can do 1080p 30, but people want that extra 60. Now, granted, the 60 frames is kind of noticeable when you're used to paying on it, but a lot of games haven't been 30 frames per second.
And they
It's mainly on
sacrifice
the PC.
so much
But
technical power for 60 frames because things slow up.
I mean, you can tell
textures look weird.
for like The Last of Us. Last of Us on PS3 is 720 30 or 1080 30. No,
It's like 30 frames.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but when it got remastered to the PS4, it was 1080 60, and it feels a lot better. Granted, a lot of people that wouldn't matter, right? That wouldn't matter to a lot of people in the casual community who just wants a good game.
Right.
It just matters to the tech nerds, but a lot of tech nerds made a huge fuss, and so that's probably why we're getting the upgrade.
I would just like to see them focus more on the games. I don't care about getting
I
on a
agree
console.
with that.
They're all kind
I
of.
was playing Quantum Break, and Quantum Break is not necessarily going to be known for being 1080p and 60 frames per second, but it does this thing with the particle effects that I really could care less about the graphics because it's just a visually stunning game to look at.
It
and,
is.
And I feel like if games focus more on stuff like that, it'd be a lot easier than just sitting there having to advertise that your game is going to run at 60 frames per second. Because, I've seen that with games like Halo 5, and I still hate Halo 5 story. I'm going to hate Halo's 5 story until I'm buried. It's going to be on my tombstone. It's going to say Halo 5 could have been better.
I
4 out
don't.
of 10.
I personally don't care how great the graphics are, as long as the story keeps me involved in it and keeps me going.
It's right for me right now. It's like a slippery slope because I do appreciate amazing looking graphics. Like Uncharted 4.
I'm sorry, I look at some of the old games and I'm like, that game
I
has
tell you,
everything I'm looking for
that game is pretty,
now.
bro.
When you're talking about things like Uncharted
But then
4,
you got games like The Order, where it's just really, really pretty and nothing else. So you gotta have a balance. It doesn't have to be the most technical, impressive game because I really enjoy Transistor. Transistor is one of my favorite games. And shut up. And Transistor is one of my favorite games, and it's basically a really 2D, 3D-ish type thing, and it looks pretty enough for me. But it could have been made on the PS3, whatever. It's not the most graphically impressive game. It has a good story. It's got a good balance. It looks pretty too, a little bit.
Yeah.
And the gameplay. So it just have to have that balance.
And I agree with Quasar on that. It really has to have to be like a balance to it because I played Rise of Tomb Raider all the way through, and graphics are really on point, especially with these snowy wasteland setting. It comes out so beautifully. But at the same time, I could sit there and play like Minecraft with its pixelated world, and I feel like the same level of enjoyment about it. So it's like, I love Rise of Tomb Raider story. I enjoy playing Minecraft for its immersive world. Graphics don't seem to take as strong a hold as they really used to. Back when you played the 64 and polygons seemed like they were real to you.
Right.
Compared to this 2D flat-faced game.
I don't know. It depends on what kind of game you're making and how you want your game to be viewed. I mean, Minecraft is not a pretty game by any means, but at the same time, it's a genuinely fun game. And I think a fun aspect is something that people are going to look from a game by definition on.
I look at games for it being fun and different.
Yeah.
Because all games that have come out thus far have kind of been the same.
Yeah, I posted something on Facebook last month, and I took some pictures and collages. It was a picture of the Order 1887, Final Fantasy 15.
The Order 1887 now?
Yeah, it was about games that just looked cinematically great, graphics wise, but
It's
I was
nothing. It's like
they all feel the same. They're different settings.
that's
Different
what
settings,
I believe. I was
same
having this conversation with Paragon earlier.
Yeah, we did discuss this game.
It's just the same. Like it's a sandbox, same type of combat, same type of get to this thing, do this thing. It hasn't been any really, and everything's been sequels or remasters. There hasn't been really
And that's what I was saying.
different type of game. Like
These
Quantum
games are
Break
really
was
focusing
different.
on realism.
Uncharted 4 is an amazing game, but it's a sequel.
Yeah.
In the last generation, we had Mass Effect, we had Uncharted,
Dead
we
Space.
had Dead Space,
Yep.
we had Sly
Last
Cooper.
of
We
Us.
had
I think
The
we had
Last of
Assassin's
Us.
Creed.
We had Assassin's Creed, right?
All
You had
very
all
different.
these different games we've never seen before, and now it's just, oh, it's another third-person game. Oh, this might be solid, but it's a third-person shooter, or it's a first-person shooter with
Oh, I can
something
switch
a little
from over
tweak.
the shoulder
Yeah,
to
Nothing,
first person.
nothing's really been different this generation,
And
and that's really unfortunate.
Yeah, and I'll say that like a lot of games haven't really been revolutionary in terms of new gameplay or new features. You know, borrowed from old games. Like for example, I think Sunset Overdrive borrows from Ratchet and Clank heavily with its weapon choice. You know, and nowadays they're really focusing on realism more than they are on creativity.
Right, and
Yeah.
it's like, what's that game?
It's the Grand Theft Auto effect in
Yeah.
Yeah.
in fantasy worlds. That's really all it is.
That's
It's,
exactly,
you know.
that's exactly it.
And I feel like they can do so much more with it.
It's
you know?
like, I'm really hyped for, like, man, I just had the game name.
The new Zelda.
No, that would literally never happen. The Last Guardian, because it looks different. Never seen
yeah.
anything like that before. I'm also hyped for Horizon, because it's like, wow, what is this?
Robot
It
dinosaurs.
might be something different, finally. But, and 15, well, it's a game I've been waiting for a long
I
time.
think everyone.
So,
Yeah,
so
I mean, like I
I'm
have
hyped
my
with
games, you
that.
know,
Hyped
Scalebound.
with
I'm
that.
sitting
Right,
here waiting on.
Scalebound looks really different. It's done by
You know,
Platinum.
even
So,
Final Fantasy 15 with its level of realism, it has managed to keep these
it's just
unrealistic creatures, unrealistic settings. You know, it's
Yeah.
the gameplay. It's not only different from anything else. It's
like Quantum Break was probably the most unique a game has been since this generation has started.
and I said something because Quantum Break does include guns, but if you
Right.
play it the way you want, you will probably never have to actually use one in
And
that
like
game.
Mirror's Edge 3, that was a new complement, or Mirror's Edge 2.
Excuse me. Yeah,
Right.
So
Mirror's Edge.
when did two come out?
Mirror's Edge
Is it
2
exclusive?
is a sequel to something that was amazing last one, but it's doing the same thing. But I'm excited for it. But it's the same thing. It's
That's
like
how they become sequel. You have that new concept that everybody
right.
wants to keep seeing.
what
The ideas
what
of
new
Mirror Edge were
what new game has come out that's just like, oh wow, this is amazing. I can't wait for the sequel.
And you can't name a lot, you know.
Can't.
That's the reality of it. You really can't.
Talking about for this generation, nothing.
nothing.
Definitely, and you do hope it gets better.
All the games of the years have been sequels.
Yeah.
That's true. It's true.
It seems to be a really big thing this year. Like everything and everyone is doing remakes
Oh
or
my God, the remaster
reboots
thing,
or.
it's getting so old.
I don't want any more
Can't
HD
take it
remakes. I'm
anymore.
sorry.
But see, at the same time, too, though, that's kind of why the indie game market really kind of took off too and became its own niche thing. Well, it was a niche thing, and they kind of opened up because those games kind of allude. Okay, it doesn't look the best. It's not as cinematic. It's not as movie-like, but it's just a genuinely fun game. Now, me personally, this is kind of a bias I've had. Typically, I didn't care for a lot of indie games for a long time because I felt like the ideas of them as I sat and played them were just okay. It was literally a bunch of developers smoking a really big bowl, playing like Metroid and Mario, and they were like, okay, hey, or Mega Man. Let's take little elements. Let's take little elements of that and just put it in this game.
Right.
Almost to the point of emulation instead of inspiration.
Right.
You know, because what was the game?
that's
Shovel
really-
Knight.
Shovel Knight is amazing.
There's one part of the game. It literally looks like the Woodman stage on Mega Man 2.
That's a
Where-
call out.
Yeah, where you fight the little robot.
I know, but it's a call out though.
But yeah, it is a call out, and you know we have to stress the difference between it, and that is something that some games do. Saints Row 4, for example, does it to the max.
That's my second favorite Saints Row.
Yeah, because they just really do play on the call outs and things. But we're gonna digress from this point because we could talk about this for hours. Quasar, what is your final thought for today?
Oh, wow, that was pretty long. Come follow us on our stream because it's hilarious.
Plug.
So, twitch.tv/Wendell Kobe. But
Twitch.tv
I said /Wendell Kobe.
okay, / Opinionation Gaming. Why are you advertising?
That's the stream name.
I mean, yeah, that is where the stream is going to be most of the time if it's up to him. So, yeah, Wendell Kobe and Opinionation Gaming. We'll try to get some stuff on there, too.
We'll stream some fun games for you.
Yeah. Is that really your final thought?
Well, I'm hyped for Tekken 7.
Yes.
Whenever it comes out, I'm hyped for Final Fantasy 15 this September. And I can't wait to see what happens in E3. Peace out.
My final thought. I'm gonna say it. Everyone's been asking me about it all week. And they want to know how I felt about it, and honestly, it took me a while to get over it, and I really was down. But I think I'm gonna be able to move past the fact that Captain America is Hydra. I just, you wake up one morning and you just see Captain America Hail Hydra, and you go, oh, these kids with their Photoshop, and then you read the comic and you go,
It's real.
oh, Marvel with your Photoshop.
What?
Wow.
I'm gonna be okay.
Hell Hydra.
He's broken. Paragon is broken. No.
They broke his soul. He will never be the
Everything he
same.
stood for.
It's okay.
It'll be okay.
I see it coming.
Join us next week. Join us next week. Me and Quasar are going to discuss the similarities and differences between Uncharted 4 and Tomb Raider, Rise of Tomb Raider.
Oh, God.
More gaming news for the week, however that goes. E3's coming up soon, so we're going to get into some talks about what we want to see there. Yeah, that's right. Get ready. And lastly, we're going to have more final thoughts that go on for 20 or 30 minutes. Okay, so I guess that's all we're going to have for today. And I guess I want to say thank you, Redline, for making it out. Thank you, Quasar, for taking the time to do this. Thank you, Eclipse Bunny. You've been great help in setting all of this up.
You're so welcome.
All right, so I'm going to tell you, signing off for Redline, for Miss Bobito, for Quasar, for Eclipse Bunny, and Paragon here saying you guys stay opinionated.
Peace.
Bam.